I heard my girlfriend Sarah calling my name from 3 different directions at once. Her voice was perfect, the exact tone, the slight rasp she gets when she's worried. But Sarah was back at our campsite, 2 miles away. And whatever was using her voice had just learned my deepest secret. Something I'd never told anyone, not even her. My name is Brandon, and I've been hiking the Appalachian Trail for 5 years. I know these woods. I know the sounds they make, the way light filters through the trees, the feeling of being watched by deer or the occasional black bear. But 3 weeks ago, I encountered something that doesn't belong in any woods. Something that's still out there, still calling my name. It started on what should have been a perfect weekend. Sarah and I had planned a 2-day camping trip in the Pisgah National Forest. Just the 2 of us, away from our phones, away from the stress of our jobs and the city. We set up camp Friday evening in a clearing near Shining Rock Creek. The weather was perfect, the stars were out, and we fell asleep to the sound of the creek and the wind in the pines. Saturday morning, I decided to do a solo hike to Devil's Courthouse, a ridge about 4 miles from our campsite. Sarah wanted to sleep in and relax by the creek. We'd meet back at camp around 2 p.m. for lunch. I left around 8 a.m. with my backpack, water, and my phone for photos. Though there was no cell service out here. The trail was well marked, and I'd hiked it before. Should have been an easy 4-hour round trip. The hike up was beautiful, quiet, peaceful. I reached the overlook around 10:30, took some photos, enjoyed the view, started heading back down around 11. That's when I realized I'd somehow gotten off the trail. I don't know how it happened. 1 minute I was on the marked path. The next, I was standing in dense forest with no trail markers in sight. I checked my compass. I was heading east instead of south. Somehow I'd veered completely off course. No problem, I thought. I'm experienced. I've dealt with this before. I adjusted my direction and started walking south, looking for the trail or any familiar landmarks. After 20 minutes, I still hadn't found the trail. And that's when I heard it. "Brandon?" Sarah's voice, coming from my right, deeper into the woods. "Sarah?" I called back. "What are you doing out here?" Maybe she'd gotten worried and come looking for me, but something felt wrong. Sarah wouldn't leave our campsite unattended, and she didn't know this trail. "Brandon, I need help." Her voice again, but from a different direction now, behind me. I spun around. Nothing but trees and shadows. "Sarah, where are you?" My heart was starting to pound. "Over here!" Her voice came from my left this time. Still that same worried tone. "Please, Brandon, I'm hurt." That got me moving. I crashed through the underbrush toward where I'd heard her voice. Branches scraping my arms, thorns catching my pants. "Keep talking so I can find you," I shouted. "I fell," her voice said, now ahead of me. "My ankle. I can't walk." But something was wrong. The words were right, but the emotion felt rehearsed, like someone reading lines they'd memorized. I kept pushing through the forest, following her voice as it called out every 30 seconds or so. But each time, it came from a different direction. And I was starting to notice something else. The voice was getting her inflections wrong. Sarah has this habit of going up at the end of sentences, even when she's not asking a question. The voice calling to me didn't do that. It was close, but not quite right. I stopped moving. "Sarah?" I said carefully. "What's my middle name?" Silence. just the wind in the trees and my own ragged breathing. Then, "Why are you asking me that, Brandon? Just help me." "Answer the question," I said, my voice shaking. "What's my middle name?" More silence. Then her voice came again, but this time it sounded uncertain, hesitant. I don't remember. I hit my head. "Please, just find me." Sarah knew my middle name. We'd laughed about it on our second date. Thomas, same as my father. She'd never forget that. This wasn't Sarah. "Brandon, please." The voice was pleading now, still perfect, still her exact tone. "I'm scared. It's getting dark." But it was barely noon, full daylight. I started backing away slowly, my hand reaching for the knife on my belt. I didn't know what I was dealing with, but every instinct was screaming at me to run. "Don't leave me," the voice said, and now it was coming from directly in front of me, maybe 20 feet away. I could see the trees, the underbrush, but nothing else. No Sarah, no person at all. "I know you're scared," it continued, and the voice had changed subtly. It was still Sarah's voice, but there was something underneath it now, something that didn't sound human. "I know what you did." My blood turned to ice. "What?" I whispered. "The accident, 3 years ago, the one you never told Sarah about." Oh God, no. 3 years ago, I'd been driving home late from a bar. I'd had 2 beers, not drunk, but probably shouldn't have been driving. A dog ran out in front of my car on a dark country road. I swerved, hit a mailbox, kept going, never reported it, never told anyone, not even Sarah. "How do you—" I couldn't finish the sentence. "I know everything, Brandon." The voice was coming from multiple directions now, all around me. I've been listening, watching, learning. Then I heard my own voice. "I love you, Sarah." It was me, my exact voice, my tone, the way I'd said those words to her last night by the campfire. Then my mom's voice. "Brandon, honey, are you coming home for Christmas?" My boss. "Good work on the Henderson account." My dead father's voice. "I'm proud of you, son." All coming from the woods around me. All perfect. All impossible. I ran. I didn't care about direction anymore. I just crashed through the forest, branches whipping my face, my breath coming in gasps. Behind me, the voices followed. Sarah's voice. "Wait for me." My voice. "Where are you going?" A child's voice I didn't recognize. "Play with us." An old woman. "He's running away." And underneath all of them, something else. A sound that wasn't quite a voice. More like clicking. Like dozens of mouths trying to form words they didn't understand. I don't know how long I ran. Could have been 10 minutes, could have been an hour. But suddenly, I burst out of the trees onto a trail, a marked trail. And there, 50 yards ahead, was a hiker, a real person, a middle-aged man with a day pack and hiking poles. "Hey!" I shouted, stumbling toward him. "Hey, wait!" He turned, startled by my appearance. I probably looked insane, covered in scratches, wild-eyed. "Are you okay?" he asked as I reached him, gasping for air. "Which way to Shining Rock Creek?" I managed to ask. "The campground?" He pointed south. "About a mile that way. You look like you've been through hell, man. You need water?" I shook my head, already moving. "Thanks. I have to get back to my girlfriend." I ran the whole mile, my lungs burning, my legs screaming. When I finally saw our campsite through the trees, I nearly sobbed with relief. Sarah was there. Real Sarah. Sitting by the fire, reading a book, exactly where I'd left her. She looked up as I crashed into the clearing, her expression shifting from surprise to concern. "Brandon, what happened? You look..." I grabbed her and held her tight, breathing in her scent, feeling her solid warmth, making sure she was real. Hey, it's okay," she said, pulling back to look at me. "What's wrong? Did something happen?" I opened my mouth to tell her everything. The voices, the thing in the woods. But then I stopped. Because over her shoulder, at the edge of the tree line, I saw movement. Something pale, something tall and thin, barely visible between the trees. And as I stared, it opened its mouth, a mouth that was too wide, with too many teeth, and I heard my own voice come out of it. "I love you, Sarah." Sarah didn't hear it. She was looking at me, worried, asking if I needed to sit down, if I was dehydrated. But I heard it. And the thing in the woods tilted its head, watching me with eyes that were too far apart, too reflective. Then it stepped back into the shadows and disappeared. "Let's pack up," I said, my voice shaking. "Let's go home, right now." "What? Brandon, we just got here. We have another night." "Please," I gripped her shoulders. "Please, Sarah, trust me. We need to leave, now." She must have seen something in my face, because she nodded slowly. Okay, we'll go." We packed in record time. I kept looking at the tree line, expecting to see it again, expecting to hear my voice or hers calling from the woods. But there was only silence. We hiked back to the trailhead as the sun started to set. Got to the car. Drove away. I didn't tell Sarah what happened. Didn't tell her about the voices, the thing that watched us from the trees. How could I? She'd think I'd lost my mind. But here's why I'm telling you this story now, 3 weeks later. Last night, Sarah and I were having dinner in our apartment. We live in the city now, 40 miles from the nearest woods, surrounded by concrete and streetlights and thousands of people. We were talking about work, about mundane things, when Sarah's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered it on speaker. At first, there was just static. Then we heard a voice, Sarah's voice. "Brandon, where are you? I'm still in the woods. I've been waiting. Why didn't you come back for me?" The real Sarah, sitting across from me, went white. She looked at her phone, then at me. "What the hell is this?" she whispered. The voice on the phone continued. "I've been calling and calling. Don't you hear me? I'm still here. I'm always here." Then my voice came through the speaker. "I'm coming, Sarah. I'm coming back for you." But my mouth was closed. I wasn't speaking. Sarah ended the call, her hands shaking. "Brandon," she said quietly, "what happened in those woods?" Before I could answer, we heard it, faint but unmistakable, coming from outside our 4th-floor apartment window. Sarah's voice, "Brandon, let me in. I'm cold." My voice, "She's been waiting so long." A child's voice, "Can we come inside?" Sarah walked to the window and pulled back the curtain. I tried to stop her, but I was too slow. She looked down at the street below, and her face went slack. "Brandon," she whispered, "there are people down there, dozens of them, just standing, looking up at our window, I joined her and looked down. She was right. At least 30 people stood on the sidewalk, all looking up, all perfectly still. And in the glow of the streetlights, I could see it. They all had the same pale skin, the same two wide mouths, the same reflective eyes. As we watched, they all opened their mouths at once, and in perfect unison, in dozens of different voices, mine, Sarah's, strangers, people we knew, people who were dead, they said, "We've been practicing. We sound just like you now. Can you tell the difference?" Then one of them stepped forward. It looked exactly like Sarah. Same height, same hair, same clothes she'd worn camping that weekend. It waved up at us and smiled. "We learned so much from you in the woods, Brandon," it said in Sarah's perfect voice, loud enough to carry 4 stories up. "Thank you for teaching us." Then another stepped forward. This one looked like me, exactly like me, down to the scar on my left eyebrow. "Now we can go anywhere," it said in my voice. "Be anyone, your friends, your family, your co-workers." The real Sarah grabbed my arm, her fingernails digging into my skin. "What are they?" I didn't have an answer. The things on the street below started walking away in different directions, dispersing into the city. Some got into cars, some walked into nearby buildings, some just disappeared into the crowds of evening pedestrians. Within 2 minutes, they were gone, vanished into the city of 2 million people. Thanks for watching. I hope you consider subscribing for weekly videos.